Craig here from ForbiddenKnowledge.info. My regular subscribers are going to be confused by this video because it's not the type of thing I normally do. I'm going to be turning into a little bit of a travel agent here. I do travel the country, and I do so all the time. And I happen to stumble across this road, the road you're going to see behind me in this video. We're going to talk about a road, of all things. Yes, we're going to turn this into a riddle, a sort of a puzzle, a mystery, with clues along the way. And your first clue is, I am in the United States. Try to guess where this, in the end you want to guess where this road is. That's the goal here. What this road is, because 99% of you won't know what this road is. Even though it's one of the oldest roads in North America. Yeah, before the United States it was used by the Indians, and before the Indians it was used by animals. Of course it wasn't paved and approved like it is now. So this is an ancient road. Very important road in American history, but you don't even know about it. Most of you don't have a clue which road this is. It's one of the oldest and one of the most well-known roads in American history, yet, as you see, there's nobody traveling it. This road is 444 miles long. Now that in itself wouldn't be unusual, except if I tell you it's not an interstate highway, and it doesn't have a single stoplight or a stop sign the entire 444 miles. Now normally you would think, okay, that's got to be Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona. Well, by this vegetation around me, do a sweep here. Does it look like Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona? No, we're not in the desert. This other road is not the road. It's part of it's just a place to pull over off the main road, which is behind me right now. So we're actually east of the Mississippi. Another clue for you. Yeah, a 444 mile road that's not interstate, that has no stop signs or stoplights, east of the Mississippi. Gee, this guy must be nuts. Well, this road is actually, when you travel the road, you'll be very surprised to see it has no billboards. It has no McDonald's or Burger Kings or gas stations or motels. In fact, you won't see a single house, driveway, mailbox, farm, or cow. No power lines. Occasionally I saw power lines go over. And at the southern end of this road, there is a small stretch that you will actually see some cows and some farms. Very small portion of it. Now, where in the world could this be? Well, that's what you're supposed to guess. Yes, this is real. And as you see, nobody knows about it. This road has a maximum speed limit of 50 miles an hour. You won't see any... I'm here in mid-August. And this is travel season, right? Where are the travelers? This road has a lot of historic points of interest along it. Like I say, it's one of the most historic roads in the United States, as well as the oldest. So where am I? Any other clues here? Am I missing some of them? It's like driving into another world. They don't allow commercial vehicles on this road. So you can't be a trucker and come on this road. So the reveal is coming up here, so if you want to, go back and watch again, or you want to do some research, try to find out what I'm talking about. Oh, here's another clue. It's part of the National Park Service. But this road doesn't go in a circle. It goes straight. In fact, it goes through 3 states east of the Mississippi. Why don't you know about this road? Because you don't know history, partly. I'm going to give some historical background. But anyway, the reveal's coming up now. So stop the video and do some research if you want. For those of you who are sticking around, we are on the Natchez Trace. That's the name of this road. The Natchez Trace. It's not easy to find. I've crossed it many times and didn't even see it. Because you either go under or over, there's no way, you don't see it. You might see a little sign or how to get on it, but it's very few and far between. You could live right next to it. In fact, this road goes, I was doing a show in Tupelo, Mississippi, and I asked somebody, because I had to go down to, I think it was New Orleans, and I was going to take my time going down there. I want to see some things, and I asked one of the locals, hey, what's around here we can see? And he told me about the Natchez Trace. Okay, the way he described it didn't sound very interesting, but I took that chance, and I was amazed, because there's no other road like it in America, really. It's certainly not this long. But it took me all day to get from Tupelo to Natchez because there's so many stops along the way. There's things you can do if you want. You can go right through 444 miles. You might be able to get it done in a day, but it's difficult because it's so many historical and interesting things to see along the way. Indian mounds, Lewis and Clark. Lewis died here. Lewis Merriweather, is that how what his name was? He died here. His grave is here. You can see old ancient inns that are over 200 years old. The Natchez Trace has a very important part in American history because it was one of America's first roads, first of all, sanctioned by the federal U.S. government. The primary purpose of the road, and see, this is back before the steam engine now, we're talking more than 200 years ago, when the Natchez Trace was at its peak. You see, people who lived in the Ohio Valley or along the Mississippi would gather their goods, whether it be from New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, Missouri, all along those states. You'd put your goods on a raft, you'd build a raft, put your goods on a raft, and sail down the Mississippi. Now, sail isn't the right word, float down the Mississippi. Because without an engine, you basically used a pole to get yourself down the Mississippi River. You would take your goods all the way down to Natchez, Mississippi. While in Natchez, that was basically the world port for the United States in the Gulf of Mexico. That was the place to go if you wanted to trade your goods. And so it was a hopping, thriving area for trade, for worldwide trade at the time. So you'd sell your goods then. And then you would sell your raft also for the lumber, and you would walk home, or buy a horse and take a horse home. So the journey was tremendously dangerous because if you can think about it, you've just sold 6 months or a year's worth of your goods, of your hard-earned work, you got some gold in your pocket, you traveled in packs because the robbery here was immense. You traveled in packs with guns to get yourself back home with that gold in your pocket. And then you repeat the process. That's the basic history of the Natchez Trace. The Natchez Trace, after the discovery, or after the development of the steam engine in watercraft, made the Natchez Trace obsolete and basically came in disrepair for more than a century. And most of it disappeared. There are some parts that are preserved that you can see along the way. And it became in disrepair, disappeared, kind of like Route 66. You can't really take the whole Route 66 right now. You can follow the general path, but you can't really take it. Same kind of thing here. It was turned into a national park, I think only about 20 years ago or something. It wasn't that long ago. It was turned into a part of the National Park Service, developed. It's only about 1,000 feet wide, the actual park. So in the wintertime when you go on this road, you can kind of see things through the trees when there's no leaves. You can kind of see signs of humanity but through the trees. But if you go here, I'm in August here, when you go through here, and this is travel season, nobody's here. Nobody's crossed this road yet since I've had this video going. This is the Natchez Trace. I'm hoping a car comes by to prove it to you, that cars really do go down this road. You could lay on the road for 5 or 10 minutes and not get hit by anything. Maybe get run over by a deer. So this is something, if you travel the country, you aren't going to find it even accidentally. You're going to have to purposely look for it because it's very difficult to find. It's very well unknown in this country's, even though it's one of the most famous roads in this country's history, it's one of the most unknown roads today. But it's worth a look if you like nature, if you want to leisurely drive. You're going to need some time. You're going to see Indian mounds, you're going to see caves, you're going to see old inns, you're going to see graves, you're going to see all sorts of things if you want. And because of the 50 mile an hour speed limit and the fact that you have all these stops along the way, about every 5 or 10 miles there's something to see, if you want, where you can pull over, like I am right now. Right now I'm at a memorial for 1812. That's where I'm at, right back of me there, back of my head. There's a little monument for the War of 1812. A lot of history here. So if you travel the country and you haven't seen this road, this is a stop you want to make. Or maybe not a stop, actually, a drive you want to make. Thanks for watching.